Okay, welcome back everyone. This is a very unexpected video. I never thought I'm gonna share this experience on YouTube or with all my viewers. The news is that I've counted COVID. The news is that I've counted COVID. I don't know if it's Omicron variant or Delta variant. I have no idea. But right before the day I was traveling back to Canada, one day before I got my results, and I've counted COVID. Paula is negative, I am positive, but we were traveling together, so we were unable to travel back to Canada. It's a pretty stressful situation for me, especially when you have your tickets booked back home and all the plans are done, but then suddenly you counted COVID and then everything needs to be changed. Now, I would like to share a few most important things which I considered and I think it should be taken into consideration when anyone is traveling abroad, if everyone is traveling outside the country. The first most important thing was retesting. Now, COVID, whether it's PCR testing or antigen test or any of the testing required for traveling, for work, all these testings are not that accurate. Now, in order to get the 100% confirmation that you have counted COVID, what I did was I got first testing to make sure that I have COVID. I did a second testing the very same day, which turned out to be positive again. So I got the confirmation that I have COVID. That was the first thing. Second thing is, do not panic, because people take wrong decisions when they're panicking, especially during this time in pandemic. It's about COVID, so everyone gets panicked. Step by step, what needs to be done when traveling abroad. You don't have anyone from your family members. You have only friends who are traveling with you. I was lucky, I was traveling with Paula, so I have a place to stay. So I was still calm, and then I have her family comforting me. So it was not that tense. But if I was in a country where I had no one around me, I think I would be in a very bad situation, because I have to isolate in a hotels maybe. So it could have been really worst. So that's the second thing, do not panic. Just do what is required. Third most important thing is rescheduling flights. Now, in order to board a flight to go back to the country you're traveling to, like I was traveling back to Canada from Colombia 3 days before I board a flight. So our flight was on 12th?
8:30.
On 12th, right?
Yeah, on the
So our flight was on 12th in the morning.
10th.
On 10th?
Yes.
Oh yeah, so 10th. So yeah, we were working on 12th. So our flight was on 10th morning, and we got tested on 8th, right? We got tested on 8th. We didn't get results until 9th afternoon. When I got our results on 9th, somewhere at 12 noon, Paula was negative and I was positive. Again, a very stressful situation. In order to get confirmed that I have COVID, we ran for another test the same day. We got another testing done at 3 o'clock, and I got the results by midnight, 12:30, 1 o'clock, that I was positive. So I was positive COVID. Now, I didn't have much time to change my flights. During pandemic, I think I work for hotels, so we do cancellations with no charge. I was advised by a few people that if I call the airlines and tell them that I have COVID, they might consider, and they don't charge you for rescheduling your flights or whatever the situation is. I tried calling my travel agent. In my case, it was American Express. They were charging me because I think it's the online travel agent for booking Air Canada flights. So they were charging me close to $350 per person. So he was supposed to pay $700 for two of us to change the flight. But then I tried calling the airlines directly. So I called Air Canada and tried to reschedule my flight. Luckily, they didn't charge me anything. I didn't mention anything to them that I have COVID and I'm rescheduling my flight because I have to isolate for 5 days or 7 days, and I won't be able to board the flight. Now that's a tip there. I don't think so we should tell the airlines that we have counted COVID, because on their websites, most of the carriers, they have mentioned on their website that if there is a reason related to COVID and you're unable to board the flight or you reschedule your flights, they might not give you the entire money. They might charge 50%. So it depends on the airlines to airlines. So I think before you speak to any airlines online or give them a call, it's better to check their website and see their COVID related guidelines on refunds and cancellations. So I was lucky in this case. I rescheduled my flight after 8 days. So instead of 10th, flying on 18th now. So isolation is 5 days with regards to this Omicron variant. The fourth point is check the government guidelines. Now, every single country has their own government guidelines in order to let people in the country. With regards to Canada, the rules until 15th of January are that if you are counted positive COVID, you have to isolate for 14 days before you travel back to the country. But from 15th of January 2022, the rule is that if you are counted COVID, then you isolate for whatever time required, like let's say 5 days or 7 days in my case. And then we can travel back to Canada with positive results only if they are 10 to 180 days old. So I was counted positive on 8th of January. My 10 days will complete on 17th of January. That means I can travel on 18th even if I'm positive. That's what I'm trying. Well, that's what the plan is. I will travel with positive results, which would be 10 to 180 days old. So I think I'll be able to travel on that. Again, the second criteria on the website says that the final decisions will be made by the Canada border agencies. So let's hope they will let me in the country. So that's the fourth point, that you have to check the government guidelines on the websites in order to let you in the country. The fifth one is to retake the COVID test before you travel after isolation. Now again, it depends from country to country. I can travel to Canada with positive results as far as they are 10 to 180 days old. So I do not have to retake COVID test, but it completely depends from person to person as well. I might take it to make sure that I'm negative and I don't have any symptoms, but I can still travel with the positive results back to Canada. So if you're traveling to any other country, retake the test after isolation and check the government guidelines online and then travel back. The last one is whenever you counted COVID, my brother counted COVID last year. Everyone was panicking. There is no such medicines. Everyone will ask you to go see doctor. I don't think so. I'm fully vaccinated. Still, I'm COVID right now. I don't think so. Doctors will advise you anything. Well, I didn't go to any doctors. I didn't take any medicines. I did take few medicines when I landed in Colombia because Bogota is at a place where it's very high altitude. It's 8,300 feet above the sea level. So we all were thinking that I have SOROCHE? What is that? SOROCHE. We all thought that I have SOROCHE. It's altitude sickness. You get it if you're not used to mountains, you're not used to stay in a high altitude area, so you get SOROCHE, which is altitude sickness. So everyone thought that I have altitude sickness. I still took some medicines related to cough and cold because I was really cold. But I would advise do not take any medicines when you counted COVID. Instead, take home remedies. I was having a lot of tea with ginger, with fresh herbs, maybe 3-4 times a day. I was going out because I didn't know that I was having COVID. So I was walking around, but I always had a tea with me. So these are the small home remedies, which will help you in breathing. That's another thing. So we are at a high altitude area. and anyway there's a lack of oxygen, and I've counted COVID, so it was anyways very hard for me to breathe. And since I've got this COVID, it's really hard to breathe, plus it's a high altitude. So yeah, just take care of yourself. Do not take any medicines. Well, it's not a professional advice, but that's how I think, because when you're outside the country, you never know what medicines are they, will they even suit you, whether they will be beneficial for you, because every country has their own ways of producing medicines. So I would personally stick to home remedies. So yeah, this is my experience. Well, it's about feeling really bad, to be very honest, because it's not about you. You regret a little bit. It's about people around you who might get affected as well because of the virus you're carrying. So it's not an ideal situation for me. Changing my flight, staying for a week more, staying home with mask on, other families around, other family members in the house. Well, I was lucky that I'm staying with a family, that I'm being taken care of. But yeah, these are the tips and a little bit of experience that I've gone through. I wanted to share with everyone. And yeah, just stay safe, everyone, and we all will get through with this. Have a good one.